stop number 3 for me with the Boxster. I'm at Street Legends now, and I'm gonna try to get some of the parts that weren't done correctly the first time finished up and get it detailed and looking really good. So I just brought this over, and Shawn has taken a look at it, and he's gonna tell us what it needs that was not done right the first time.
Cool. Basically, it's kind of hard to see without the sun being out here, but first thing I noticed when he showed up was the grill was painted red, which is kind of subpar. I mean, if you're going to do paint work, take the bumper off, remove pieces, reinstall. Second thing I noticed was the hood had hologram marks from where they buffed, and walking around you could see all of the residue from being either wet sanded or buffed or compound. Got some scratches in the headlight that weren't there. Noticed some heavy sanding marks along the bottom where it was either unfinished or just not compounded or polished in general. We saw some tape lines here where they had just, I guess, spot painted some parts and not others. You've got overspray on the trim because it wasn't removed. You got overspray or dry spray on the back. Previous maybe paint work where you have some old paint, new paint. You can actually see the line. And pretty much the whole car, you know, it has kind of all of that stuff all the way around the car. So my goal is to get it in here, get it prepped, get it washed, ready to be polished, put my lights on it and see what we're really working with, then kind of go from there and make this thing look how it should. All
right, so thanks. Looking forward to picking this up, and I think the estimate is about 2 days to do all this stuff. All right, cool. So I will leave it in his capable hands, and we'll pick it up in 2 days and show you how it should look.
All right, here's a little before and after, or I should just say before because I haven't started yet, but you can see all the sanding marks, and to be honest, it doesn't even look like they tried to buff it. I see some pinholes in the paint. Let's see, there's not a whole lot I can do about those. You know, really fine pinholes, solvent pop really. They tried to wet sand them out. Down here is just really bad. You see all the texture around the door. Yep. I don't even know how you could let this go. Like, you would know, anybody who does this would know that this isn't right, but I guess that's what you get. But we're gonna fix that. Send you some before video or after videos when I get through this, maybe a 50-50, kind of give you an idea. All right, so step one, you can see this is gonna be the after. This is the before. This is what I'm working with. The first step in anything cutting through all the garbage, you're gonna be left with holograms. But it's what you do after this that makes a big difference. All the edges. So I'll come back and show you what it looks like after it's been refined.
Hey, here she is. How's it going, man?
It's good. I'll give you one of these.
Oh yeah, coronavirus everywhere. All right, holy balls. Wow. What a difference. Gotta pull it all the way out of the sun. Woo. You even cleaned the top.
I tried.
Nice.
I even used one of those little...
Holy crap! My window. I can see through it. Wow. Expense.
I saw it drive by.
Jeez. Looks like you redid the wheels too. Holy cow. Yes. Oh man. What? How did you get that out of the brake light?
Magic.
Oh, crap. Yes, so for everybody that thought this was ruined, we are far from ruined. Now we look like we have a brand new frickin' Boxster. Oh my lord. Let me see this badge. Yes. We are back in business. Wow. I can see why that guy said that it wasn't the same car. Oh man. Here's the responsible party for the Magic.
I feel bad because I'm not the one who painted it, but I'm just here to rescue it. So it was rough, like really, really, really rough.
Yes, I saw all the videos, and you've seen all the videos to show it. Wow. Just gotta stand back and appreciate this. Whew. Well, thank you so much, man. It looks awesome.
You're welcome.
And so anybody in the Kernersville or Triad area or state of North Carolina, it's worth it to come over here and let them work their magic on your car. Gee whiz.
All right, so I just wanted to kind of go over some things that I see that it may or may not show up on camera, but just as a painter standpoint, when I'm looking for defects in cars that have been repainted, or like if I'm getting ready to detail a car, those are the things that I'm looking for. I look for things that have been repainted because those are the areas that I have to be extremely careful with. And so I was just pointing out to you that if you can see this, there's kind of a darker spot right around in this area. And what that tells me is that this area is extremely thin paint. So if I spend more time trying to chase out defects and make this perfect, then more than likely I'm gonna burn through it.
Yep.
Whoever painted this and then wet sanded it, like if I'm gonna wet sand and buff a car, I won't go to the edge. Like I'll leave either a tape line here, or just anywhere there's a really tight edge, because you really can't get there unless you're taking all the trim off or all the panels off in order to buff those areas. And so this car, every single edge of this car was sanded. And that's a nightmare for anyone who's going to be buffing this thing, because it's just impossible to get that close to it. So most of my time here spent dealing with this car was chasing all the edge work that they decided to sand. And that's challenging because it takes, you know, 1-inch pad, 2-inch pad, and just hours and hours of just going back and forth trying to get the sanding marks out of those edges. So it's just very, very amateur work, very sloppy. And I hate to talk bad about somebody's paint work, but you know, you see this right here, this was burned through. You see the edge there? Got one here. It's just, that's the reason why we don't go to the edges. There's another reason why we don't use a 8-inch buffing pad to buff the whole car, because you just can't do that. I saw your video that you mentioned about they bumped your door. Yeah, check this out. So I was sitting here thinking that maybe there was, you know, it had been in an accident, because I saw your front bumper. And then I saw, this is what bodywork looks like when they don't, you can see that in the light, right? That's Bondo popping through where they had sanded it. And then this struck me right here. You can see where they actually bumped it, but didn't put any paint there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So just, those are the things that we find, and those are the things that I look for if I'm gonna detail a car and try to find something that stands out as far as bodywork goes. Those are the areas that you gotta be careful with. And it just kind of sucks because this entire car was that way, you know. And so it's a challenge. Definitely a challenge to get it to be better. But this door, this fender, and this area right here are probably the worst. But that makes more sense after watching your video and them saying going back and forth, because the amount of overspray in this area was just insane.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it looks fantastic now.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, so to get the marks out of the taillights, just a lot of buffing.
Simple
and,
polish.
Polish.
You know.
Yep. They're back to new again. And so the window, just some glass, some
It's like a
plastic
yeah, it's
polish.
like a plastic polish. It doesn't make it perfect, but it definitely makes it a lot better. You know, first time I ever used it was on the Jeep with the plastic top similar to this.
You can see straight through that.
It's just little things like that that kind of set everything off, you know.
Yep. Yeah, and the roof was covered with white crap, which still some of it in the light, but man, it was filthy before.
Compressed air and a lint roller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I tried.
Yep. Well, I am very, very happy with this. It has gone from a nightmare to
Acceptable
yeah,
in my world.
acceptable in your world, but for a 22-year-old car, I'm not going to complain. The phoenix has risen from the ashes.
All that under there.
Oh my god. Yeah.
This
Yes, this is how a car should come back.
cleaned. I put all this back together, and then I see that you have a trickle charger, so I left that acceptable or accessible.
Awesome. Perfect.
I think that's your pink code. LA.
Yes, it is.
4A. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do in here.
Yeah, that there's a plastic trim piece that he still has.
Okay.
So when I pick it up, I'll put that back
Cool.
on there, and it'll cover all that up. Awesome.
I didn't get your floor mats wet.
That's a bonus.
What I could do in there. All this is.
Yes.
I like this. Nice
Yeah.
touch.
Yeah, that's the Joe Toth spoiler. He does. He makes them custom, and yeah, they're fantastic. They look so good.
I put the right hardware in your license plate.
What? Yes, look at that.
Where they go.
I like it. Man, that looks great. Okay, we have her back home. I mean, interior, everything has been cleaned by Shawn. I could not be happier with the work he did. And it should also be noted, okay, yeah, so this is like super shiny and fantastic looking, but the amazing thing is there is zero polish on here still, because my next step is to get it ceramic coated and some PPF on the front. So knowing that that was the plan, he did not put any, yeah, that looks weird because there's a shade line right there, but yeah, it's not a different color. So anyway, he knew that it was gonna be done, so he did not put any polish on it, because when we do the PPF and clear coat, that would, I mean, the PPF and the ceramic coating, that would all have to be stripped off anyway. So it's a pristine paint surface now for that to be applied to. So that's just even more impressive to me, that it looks this good with no polish.